Hello, this is Molly Reamer with 30 Days of Goddess in Bridges Grove with this week's mini ritual, continuing to explore earth runes as well as using the Daily Practice Companion deck and our monthly herb of the month from the Illustrated Herbiary. So welcome to July. Here we are in another month, the second half of the year unfolding before us with all of its possibility and promise and all of its opportunity to reevaluate and recommit, as well as to claim our own power. So continuing with the Earth Runes system, which is currently in development in conjunction with our Goddess Magic community on Patreon, today we are exploring 26, which it's hard to believe that we're already up to the 26th new card for this set, but here we are, and it is the Moonbowl. This is a rune of receptivity, openness, space, creative potential, containing alchemy, insight, inward growth, incubation, steeping, holding, renewing, and transforming. So this could be a rune associated with the cauldron, with steeping, with drawing within, with nourishing your own crucible of creation, with being with both holding, being receptive to holding and containing, while also steeping in, stewing in, replenishing in this own interiority or this own interior wisdom and creative potential. So both a rune of receiving and of creating, but with a specific focus on kind of inward growth, renewal that comes from time allowed to steep in your own crucible of creation. So the Moonbowl today. And so I could ask you to consider perhaps, like, what are you holding space for? What is bubbling up from within? Do you feel the creative potential stirring within you? What is being created? What are you yearning toward? What are you incubating, steeping, holding, and transforming? And then we're going to go ahead and go over to our herb of the month. I've been choosing an herb of the month card from the Illustrated Herbiary by Maya Toll, and for July we received passion flower, which is really, really appropriate for this exuberant time of the year. The theme of this card is exuberant quietude. The theme for our monthly practice is power, and our goddess is Ariadne. So anyway, passion flower feels very suited and very fitting to this exuberant time of the month. So exuberant quietude. I do have a past resource I will link to exploring more about that idea of exuberant quietude, which I really find very inspiring and interesting. But from the book, the Illustrated Herbiary book, Maya writes that passion flower is a study in opposites. She climbs vigorously, sending exploring fingers through fence slats and wall crevices. What's over there, she wonders, always trying to get to the other side, to expand beyond her current boundaries. Even her flower exudes a frenetic energy, vibrantly bursting out into the world. Every inch of passion flower is reaching, striving, and climbing, and yet her medicine is the magical calm. So she's associated with, she's like a nerve soother, a nervous system soother. So she's a calming medicine. If you take passion flower capsules, there's this is not medical advice, but they're supposed to be good for like anxiety and things like that. It's a calming herb, even though she yearns and reaches. So the medicine is the magical calm that happens when television, computer, and phone are all silent. She begs you to pause in your questing and take time for a new experience, or inner quietude. I only am just now realizing what a great compliment to the Moonbowl. Maybe you should put some passion flower in your Moonbowl, because there is a really great connection here for this inner quietude. She begs you to pause in your questing and take time for inner quietude. Why? Because being able to be quiet and still is passion flower's secret to exuberant expansion without stress or burnout. So the message from her is expand yourself and reach. Do you feel in your body? Do you have a body sense of what it feels like to be calm and contained and yet also exuberantly expansive? So there is a lot to think about there. Some questions from Maya include, so the balance of power here, the power of balance here is between doing and not doing, critical thinking and daydreaming, waking and sleeping, doing things with vigor and zest while also keeping our thoughts centered in the present moment. But here are some questions. Which parts of your life do you feel joyously engaged with? Have you lost your passion for some parts of your life? Do you feel like you are trudging through your work or family time? So this is not asking us to jettison the mundane parts of our lives, but instead to bring joy and curiosity to all aspects of the day, approaching everything with curiosity, even the mundane tasks that we have to get done, but we can still approach them with this attitude of exuberant quietude. Okay, so lots to say about passion flower as inspiration for July. And then from the daily practice deck, longing. So I return to this often, like maybe listen to our longing. May we follow the thread of longing in our lives. May it lead us to passion, to reflection, to exuberant quietude. May we follow our longing. May we listen to our longing. A practice, look for the moon, always a good one. I love always knowing what phase the moon is in. Part of that's because I draw the moon phase every day in my 30 Days of Goddess prayer book, but I really find it a powerful piece of orienting myself to this time and this place. This is my place on the earth right now. I feel like it's an important point of orientation to know what the moon is doing and where the moon is. We can't always see the moon, but we know she's out there doing her thing. So then there is a prayer here, but I also have one over here. So let's see. We've got a practice. This is from Cut Your Owns that I've made in advance for August and September for our Goddess Magic patrons. So this is a practice and a promise and a prayer all in one. I take a deep breath, lay a hand on my heart, and return to center again and again. This is one of the most powerful scraps of magic that I know, one of the most powerful practices that I know. And then since we are honoring Ariadne this month, I have this little extra set of goddess prayer cards that was created for my patrons too. And here's the piece. This is from a Council of Goddesses poem. May I be as powerful as Ariadne, casting aside trappings of performance and pleasing, stripping away artifice to get at what lies beneath, setting forth and finding my own way, courage and discovery embedded in your stride. So may you feel that sense of courage and discovery embedded in your stride, as well as the curiosity invited in by passion flower. And then continuing this along the same lines, here's an extra prayer from a Cut Your Own deck. Listen carefully for the next step on the wind. Remember your questions. Keep living them. Watch how the sky contains the earth. Steady yourself with silence. Feel your heart beat. Protect your attention, your most precious magic and most powerful prayer. Set forth. So a lot of energy, an invitation here into reaching, stretching, yearning, while also maintaining a secure center, a center of containment and restoration within. And then another prayer, this one from the Daily Practice deck too. As we close for today, inviting yourself to settle into that sense of center. May I be open, may I be grateful, may I trust willingly, may I care deeply, may I protect my edges, may I honor my limits, may I lean into beauty, may I dwell in devotion, may I travel through realms of the sacred, my ordinary self on ordinary ground. So this week, may you tap into that sensation of exuberant quietude, the replenishment that comes from sinking and settling and softening within, while also listening to longing, extending yourself and reaching towards what you long for or what you yearn for. And may you return to center again and again. May you listen carefully for the next step on the wind. Thank you so much for being here. Keep living your magic. Bye-bye.